Hello fellow knobheads and beat people, I'm George, the Gentleman Rocker. Welcome to this episode of ToySynthTuesday. In this episode, we're gonna take a look at the uAcid8 and HapiNES from Twisted Electrons. The uAcid8 is a monophonic bassline synth and a mix between a 303 sequencer and a 8-bit video game sound generator. The HapiNES, on the other hand, more plays in this vein of 8-bit video game sound engine with more than one sound. So it features a monophonic drum sound and 3 monophonic sound sources. But first, a look at the unpacking, so cue the montage. As you can see, the two Slimsynths are packaged a little bit different than the pocket operators. The cardboard box is able to live on after you opened it, which is nice because I like to store the boxes. The boxes contain the Slimsynth and the manual each, and they are both wrapped in bubble wrap for protection. The landscape orientation of the Slimsynth suits the setup really well, as the synth is not scale driven like the pocket operators, but features all 12 notes of the Western scale. So in the last week I had a lot of play with these two Slimsynths, and there were some things that I realized really quickly. The uAcid8 has a really nice sequencer setup. I really like the choosing your step and what's going on this step. It's a little bit like the sequencer in the TB03 from Roland. So it's not the typical you have to push all the steps through, but you can choose your step and what it's doing there. So I really like the setup. The sound, on the other hand, it lacks a little bit of this screaming that I like from my monophonic bassline 303 synths. But then again, if you take a look at, for instance, the TB03, it has a built-in distortion and delay. And if you put a delay and distortion behind this one, this could scream too. But out of the box, it sounds a little bit tinny, but it's an 8-bit sound chip. In the vein of video chips, so it makes sense. I have the same problem with the PO14, the sub, which is also a monophonic bassline synthesizer, but from the pocket operator range. This one has accent and slides, which makes it more playable and more of a sound source I would like to use in a song setup built out of pocket operators and Slimsynths. So why don't we go over there and have a little listen. Yeah, it's really nice. I really like the sound. It feels like a chiptune version of a 303 sound, and yeah, getting the best that you can do with your chiptune setup, which is exactly what this pocket operator stands for, or what it claims to be. So for me, it perfectly works the way it's intended. I really like the landscape setup. It feels better in the hand while working with it. You have more knobs, which is also really nice for real-time changing of the sound. Nice one. But yeah, let's talk about the HapiNES next. First of all, there are some things to get used to, as it's not as straight on as the uAcid8, because you have to choose which sound you want. If you want to program the drums, the triangle, or one of the two pulse width square sounds, and then you have to program it, which, yeah, you need to get your head a little bit around this, but it works. It's nothing that you can't get used to, but you need to get used to it. So as I said, you basically have these 4 sounds. The drums are monophonic, so you can, for each step, choose one of the, I tend to remember, 56 drum sounds, and they'll get cut off as soon as you play another song. So there are some really fat sounding kick sounds, really bassy 808 stylish, longer decay bass kicks, but if you put a hi-hat on the next step, you will only get the short attack of the sound, so it will get really shut or cut down when you fill up the 16 steps. So if you want to have this big booming bass kicks yeah, maybe just use few of the steps and don't put a lot of other steps to it. But then again, it's the same if you try to program a beat on, let's say, a C64 on Atari or something like that. You have to work with what you get, and it feels genuine to the 8-bit sound engine sound, but it's something to keep in mind when you're building up your drum sound. Then you have the triangle that you only can change the decay on, which, first I tried to, of course, play with the others, vibrato and the pulse width, which of course doesn't make sense. And yeah, you need to get used to that. It's only a triangle bass sound, and the only thing you can change is the decay. The other two sound engines are square, and you can change the pulse width. You have the decay and vibrato, and you also have these arpeggios, which you step between the different types, and then you can change the speed based on the speed that you're playing with. So you have this chiptune, fast bursting arpeggios when you play one sound, which really makes this feel really chiptuney. So as I said, you get a really video gamey sound of this. So let's have a listen what this one sounds like. Okay, I really like the sound of this also. So it gives me what I want. If I would use that in a setup together with other pocket operators, I would try to build like a backing track that features the HapiNES and sounds from an old game, and I will put the other stuff around it, kind of feeling like a remix of this. I would use this as the bass sound that I'm virtually remixing, and yeah, use the other sounds like the 303-ish uAcid8 and maybe the arcade or some other pocket operators, the PO12, the rhythm one, would sound really nice together with the Acid 8, and I will try this out. And yeah, I would probably put this through a filter at some point in the song. That's where my IRA EFX modules would come in handy, and I will maybe tinker a little bit with one of them which has the delay, and yeah, maybe build a filter into it that you can filter it into a delay, which could sound really nice. Yeah, and the USB is one really interesting tidbit. So you can use this with USB and play it from your PC. So you can use the uAcid8 and HapiNES as sound modules for your Ableton setup or something like that. And I will look into this later. Right now I've just played with it hands-on, no USB connection, because I want to, yeah, that's what these ToySynths are for. And if there's something you want to know about the uAcid8 specifically, or also the HapiNES, but this one will be addressed in the next episode, leave a comment and I will try to look into it and give you an answer in the comments and in the next episode. But now let me shortly recap what I did last week in Modular Monday, my other series that I have, and I change it up every week. One week is ToySynthTuesday, the other week is Modular Monday, then back to ToySynthTuesday. So last week I moved my Neutron out of the desktop case, because Modular Monday is all about this Eurorack stuffy sound. So yeah, I moved it, and if you're thinking about putting your Neutron into the Eurorack, or just want to know how easy or not easy it is, there's an episode for that. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like this video if you liked it, and yeah, just be awesome. I'm George, the Gentleman Rocker. See you later. Bye.